concerned about the outrageous price of pharmaceuticals. And at a time when so many Americans are concerned about a wide range of price increases, this Congress is frankly just incapable of overcoming the power of Big Pharma to pass any meaningful price negotiation legislation. Indeed, your testimony refers to the only measure, which is a cap on insulin, which does not lower the price of insulin by a penny, though it does shift who pays for insulin. I think there are so many things that this administration could do on its own to address predatory pricing. And just to give you one example that I think you're familiar with, you could simply hold a hearing on a petition regarding the price of Xtandi, a prostate cancer drug that cost $190,000 for a single year of treatment for prostate cancer, 6 times what Japanese patients pay. This hearing, which has been requested, could permit experts to come forward and discuss the monopoly prices and the investment that taxpayers have made. The global sales for Xtandi are more than $20 billion, half of them here in the United States, yet for the 250,000 men who are diagnosed each year with prostate cancer, they face astronomical cost. On the ability of the administration to institute reasonable pricing clauses in government contracts, on greater transparency on how taxpayer dollars are spent on R&D and procurement, on your authority with regard to reasonable prices on critical drugs for hepatitis C and other drugs. There are things this administration could do and do now, and a strategy of simply saying we're waiting to see what Congress will do is not a strategy that addresses the pain that American consumers of pharmaceuticals face now. So I just urge you to go back and talking to your colleagues and say, let's do something to show we care and that we don't want to end this administration the way the Trump administration did, with great talk about this and no action. Now, you have a request before us for $10 billion more for the kind of COVID relief that is so very important. I've supported that in the past, but I do have question about how that $10 billion will be spent. Is it correct that about half of it is, according to some reports, is allocated to just one drug from Pfizer?
Congressman, we're going to try to make use of the $10 billion to provide both vaccines and therapeutics to meet the needs that we expect to have over the next several months. That can be dialed depending on what we see happening, but we are going to devote most of that money to
with the limitations that you face. How does a price get set on a vaccine or a therapeutic like the one I understand half this money will go to for Pfizer?
It's a very similar process to what you've mentioned, which is the federal government will begin negotiations with those manufacturers to try to see what type of production they can provide and at what price.
As
Much
you know,
of it, again, depends on the level of production to determine the price.
And in terms of the provisions that are made about price and the interest the government has in the intellectual property, will you work to see that future contracts concerning pharmaceuticals are designed in a way that the public can know what its rights are and what price is paid?
Congressman, this is an issue where when I used to sit on that end, I also did as much to advocate for as well. And I can tell you that it will be my effort to ensure that to the degree that we negotiate new contracts with these manufacturers, we will do everything we can to have transparency in the process.
Thank you very much.
Thank the